think there's a lot going on in my mind with regards to my training, my consistency, and general discipline. To summarize it, if you will, I guess you would call it the philosophy behind my training. The reason for this is, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but it's the frequency of my training sessions. It's not all that consistent, and I'm training honestly when I feel like it. Yes, there's a lot of discipline with programming, focusing on ensuring that you're committed and making sure you're getting all the workouts in. But I think there's multiple approaches to how we define our fitness narrative. And what I mean by that is, so long as you are managing your fatigue intensity at a regulated amount, progression will ultimately come. And for me, it took a long time to reconcile this. I was very stubborn with my training. I believed maximal intensity with maximal frequency was the way to go. I denied the fact that I was overtraining, and it was almost a pride issue at that point because I assumed that I was strong enough to surpass that kind of threshold. Now, another thing I want to mention is perhaps this was because I was very misinformed in terms of fitness and endurance. Yes, your body adapts to higher frequency and load management. You get used to training more. You don't get as fatigued as much. You don't get as sore. And that can be kind of used as a reference point to determine whether you're progressing effectively and whether you're managing your work effectively as well. I just don't think I had a strong grasp of how fatigue felt for me and performance. I didn't know how performance turned out. And I had a very poor reflection of this notion. So essentially, the reason why I'm mentioning this idea of fitness is because in this session today, I only managed to do 5 sets of 10 of this superset conditioning work. Preferably, I was going to work for 10 sets of 10, but I was too tired. I genuinely did not think I had the capacity to finish off that whole work. So something that came to my mind all over again was, maybe I need to ramp up frequency, or maybe I need to work out a way to distribute conditioning throughout the week, because endurance is it's not the same as strength. Strength is something that you build and you develop over a long period of time. And yes, you could say that about fitness, but muscular endurance is built and can be lost very quickly, at least in terms of my experience. If you do not train high reps and high frequency over a consistent period of time, then you're going to lose that no matter what. But I think that is one of the biggest takeaways with the way I'm training now, because if I'm only training like a few days a week and the rest are just complete rest days, not doing anything at all, not even doing any form of moderate intense workouts, maybe a few days of like tennis here and there, then there becomes a conflict, because now my discipline towards training is compromised. It's starting to make me doubt whether I'm all that committed to training, and it's honestly just a conflict with how I'm experiencing things right now. It's I feel like it's a barrier or like an adversity to my narrative right now, and yes, I think it's gonna take some time for me to get used to this. If I continue to see linear progression and a build-up of constant progressive overload, then of course I'm not going to doubt it. I'm going to say, this works for my body, I'm adapting well, and I experimented and I found results, and it worked. And I think that's a nice principle to focus and approach, and it's a nice approach to training in general, because it gives you a unique sense of like understanding your body. It's auto-regulating, and it's getting you fine-tuned to how your body responds to like frequency, managing fatigue, and testing how your fitness rolls on throughout your whole period. So that's basically it, and I'll finish it off here.